So it's been about a month since the manifestation of the the vision. I performed the last of the trilogy of shows. It's been quite an intense few weeks since then. So I find that anytime I express something or share something kind of with the world, uh, it changes me. It in the same way that writing the story itself, somehow it sets up a blueprint or something, and then when I share it with other people, it somehow, I don't know, it's some kind of like alchemy or something happens. And so one thing that that third story is talks about is the sense of duty and our feeling. I think a lot of spiritual type people can relate to this, that feeling of like we're here for a mission, we're here to save the world or our family or society, and how that can become a block or creates a barrier so that I can't just be naked and relaxed and enjoying myself, because there's always this sense of, I'm doing something for this purpose, and I can't just relax because there's all this stuff I need to do. And for me, it shows up very much with my family. I think it's a deep ancestral pattern of feeling like I have a duty and debt to my parents and my ancestry that yeah, it's just like part of who I am. So in the past few weeks, that has been coming up quite intensely, and I'm seeing the ways that a lot has been hidden, and there's been a lot of assumptions. Like usually with these kind of unconscious patterns, it's like they're unconscious because they're not brought into the open. It's just a kind of like an unspoken rule or an unwritten law. Like in my case, for instance, it's like I do a lot of I help my parents with like a lot of like their businesses or financial things, and it's a lie. It's like another job, but because I'm also like helping my parents, it's weird. It's not something I would ask for money for, but then I end up getting resentful, and because it takes a lot of energy to do this, and I end up taking it on because it's not clear like whether I'm not just like translating for them, I'm actually like representing them, but yet it's not my own properties or businesses. So I realized just how much that entanglement of like not having clear boundaries of like, this is yours and this is mine, and yes, as a daughter, I don't mind helping you with this and that, but to be giving to the extent that I'm giving, and also always kind of feeling like I'm in debt because like I've been living with my parents on and off for a while, and so I always kind of feel like, oh well, I owe it to them to do this stuff because I'm receiving from them. So all of it has just been unclear. So while in that 3 weeks where I was performing my shows, I ran across this book called Plant Spirit Medicine, and it like vibrated in my hand. It was one of those, and I read a lot, but it was just powerful, and there was just something in it that felt so true and clear and authentic. And anyway, I ended up finding someone, a plant spirit medicine practitioner, and I started having like treatments or sessions with her while I was doing my shows. And this combination of receiving these transmissions from these plants and having someone to reflect off of and doing my shows felt very powerful. Like I just felt like huge shifts happening in me. So naturally I wanted more, and they have a training course, and I thought, oh, this is my next step. Like I'm totally going to take this course, and it was quite expensive. It's like a 2-year. It's almost like going to grad school or something. So, so of course I was worried about the money, but I was excited, and I felt like there was a part of me that was like, oh, this is what's been missing, like, because it's closely aligned to what I already do. I mean, it's pretty much the premise is that all of our ailments, the root is a disconnection from nature. And so that the spirits of plants can help us reconnect, and then that will in turn kind of heals all these like physical ailments and mental ailments. And so what I do in my work is also I just like I help people release what's in the way of connecting with their true nature. So to have the support of plants in it too, it just felt like, and it's the guy who started this is like this form. His background is in acupuncture, so they do things like take pulses, and it kind of felt like I don't know, like a bridge maybe, it's like still kind of abstract and esoteric and based purely on energy. It's not like herbalism where you're actually ingesting things but I don't know, because you're taking pulses and because it's kind of like there's an association, I guess I felt like, yeah, just like that there was a missing piece. And I was just really excited to get to even closer to plants. And all of a sudden my third story, which talks about like speaking in the language of flowers, all of it started to kind of be like, oh my gosh, like this is it. But then I sat with it and I realized that this was actually at a deeper level is continuing a pattern of like still looking outside, like, oh, okay, if I just learn one more thing, like then, like then I'll have clients, or then I'll be, I don't know, more complete, So once I saw that it was coming from that place, and yeah, I'm definitely interested in it, but I'm interested in like a million things, like I want to do a retreat in Greece, but that doesn't mean I'm going to spend like thousands of dollars on it just because it sounds interesting. And just like this whole last year, realizing that like I feel like the gift of not having a surplus of money was to kind of almost force me to stay internal and create, and instead of spending money and enjoying things in the outer world. And that's how these shows came about. So in that same vein, I was like, oh, it's not time for me to listen to someone else's methodology on how they connect with plants. Like there's something in me that already has my own way of communing with nature. But I guess I'm not trusting it because we're so trained to do that, right? To look outside and be like, well, no, this guy already has done it. Like, I'll just listen to his method, and it's kind of almost like accredited, and then I can say I'm a plant spirit medicine practitioner, and and I realized like I always do this. Like I always try to find like a group or a methodology to belong to, and I never do because I'm not meant to do that, but I always look and I try because it feels so much easier to just, yeah, say I'm this kind of coach, or, I'm this religion, but I'm this philosophy. And it's like, I'm not, because because it's too small for me. So, but it feels like shit. It felt like shit for me. And it brought up a lot of stuff like just, God, why can't I ever find something to belong to? Okay, great. Like I showed up with these shows, like now what? I don't feel like anything's changed. I feel like I put all this effort and work into creating these shows and manifesting them. And then like, I mean, it wasn't bad, but I feel like I still don't have like clients I'm working with deeply. I still don't know what I'm going to do next with these shows. I think I thought, well, like once I do them, like I'll just kind of keep doing them or do them in other venues, but I felt burnt out, and again, I was going through all these internal shifts that, like I don't even know what's next. I still felt clear that I'm going to be moving soon, but I still don't know where. And so what was amazing is